Welcome once again onto News Tonight at 8. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. First though, let's look at the top stories. Tonight, President Yoweri Museveni meets Somalia's President, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. Judiciary implored to dispense prompt and fair justice as new law year begins. Uganda signs to host 11th African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development. And in sports, Gazelles defeat Burundi 66 by 30 to seal a spot in the FIBA Women's qualifiers. Again, it is a pleasure allowing us into your space. Now into the news. At the invitation of President Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, paid a one-day official visit to Uganda on Friday, February 7th, 2025. He was accompanied by Somalia's Minister of Defense and other government officials. At State House, Entebbe, President Museveni welcomed His Excellency Mohamud and commended a strong bilateral relation as well as enhancing cooperation between the two countries. Recalling the discussion held at a State Lodge Nakasero during His Excellency Mohamud's last official visit to Uganda on October 19, 2024, the two heads of state reviewed bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. They further exchanged views on the security situation in Somalia and the region, underscoring the need to maintain peace, security and stability in the Horn of Africa and the entire continent. The leaders also paid tribute to the troop and police contributing countries to the AU mission in Somalia, AMSOM, and Somalia security forces for the sacrifices made in 2007 in the fight against Al-Shabaab. President Museveni commended His Excellency Mohamud, his government, and the people of the Federal Republic of Somalia for the commitment, resilience, and efforts made in stabilizing Somalia. On his part, His Excellency Mohamud commended President Museveni for his government and the people of Uganda for the sacrifice and commitment to peace and security in Somalia since 2007. He further appreciated the symbolic gesture of goodwill and warm hospitality according to him during the visit. Now, Uganda was selected to host the 11th session of the Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development, slated for 9th to 11th April 2025 at Speak Resort, Munyonyo. This revelation has been made by Prime Minister Robina Nabanja during a media briefing on signing the host agreement between Uganda and the United Nations Economic Commissions for Africa.
Under the theme, Driving Job Creation and Economic Growth Through Sustainable Inclusive Science and Evidence-Based Solutions for the 2030 and 2063 Agenda, the forum aims to accelerate Africa's progress on development goals.
Conduct a regional forum and review on progress made, facilitate peer learning, and advance sustainable, inclusive science, evidence-based and data-driven solutions and actions to dramatically increase economic growth, job creation, and the pace and scale of implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and goals on the agenda 2063 for Africa.
The forum will also address the challenge of inadequate financing that hinders the development of all countries on the African continent.
Because the countries have grown since then. They are too big. They need more money. But the resources that are coming to support them is no longer enough. The aid that was supporting them is no longer enough. There have to be new ways of doing things. So we are now trying to change the structure. We are going to change the way resources are obtained. We are also trying to help the countries in terms of the rating so that they can improve their rating and be able to borrow, not necessarily from the international financial institutions, but also from the private sector, if they have good ratings. Currently, we only have 2 investment-grade countries, which is Botswana and Mauritius. We need more countries coming up so that they can be able to borrow like any other developed countries on the market.
The expected outcome include enhancing commitments and momentum.
Uganda is set to host the 11th African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development, scheduled to take place from 9th to 11th April this year. The conference is expected to attract several heads of state from the 54 African countries, and over 2,000 delegates are expected in the country.
Uganda was selected to host the 11th session of the African Sustainable Development. The forum will take place from 9th to 11th April 2025 at Beach Resort Munyonyo under the theme Driving Job Creation and Economic Growth through Sustainable, Inclusive Science and Evidence-Based Solutions for the 2030 Agenda and the Agenda 2063.
This morning, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, witnessed the signing between the Government of Uganda and the Economic Commission for Africa, chaired by the Executive Secretary, Clever Gatete.
We have seen that Uganda has the capacity to do this.
The State Minister for Foreign Affairs, in charge of international affairs, Henry Okello Oryem, signed on behalf of Government of Uganda. Gatete commended the Prime Minister for her exemplary leadership role that enabled Uganda to win the bid for hosting this prestigious Sustainable Development Goals Conference on the continent.
For Uganda to win the bid, you had a big role in that. And we found ourselves having no other choice than holding it here in Uganda.
We expect 53 United Nations resident coordinators, such as myself, who work in Africa, to participate.
The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja said it's an opportunity for a country like Uganda to showcase the country's potential, reach of human and natural resources.
The expected outcomes of the forum include: 1. To achieve consensus on Africa's priorities, including sustainable, inclusive, science and evidence-based solutions and actions to increase economic growth and job creation and advance implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and goals of the Agenda 2063 for Africa.
But as Uganda prepares to host, African countries are still lagging behind in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
We are lagging far behind because we've had crisis over crisis. In 2009, we had the global financial crisis. And this was followed by the Arab Spring, if you remember, when there were many issues in the Arab world that affected the prices of fuel. And the inflation was very high, quite a lot of impact on the economy. In 2020, we also had COVID.
Despite this challenge, Uganda still stands out with 26% compared to other African countries that are trading with 16%.
But for Uganda, it is quite impressive. We've reached 26%, way above the Africa average, and also above the global average. So that's why really hosting it here is very important, so that you can also learn from what you have done better, so that can also benefit other countries.
This poor performance, according to Gatete, is attributed to the global financial architecture that has made African countries heavily indebted to a tune of $160 billion, and they cannot afford to finance the SDGs.
Where African countries alone, like last year, really they pay 163 billion per year just to service the interest. So we are heavily indebted. There is no fiscal space. After paying the debt, there is not much left to invest in SDGs and also in the areas that are mentioned in the Agenda 2063.
Now, the 10 aspirants seeking the Kawempe North flag of the National Unity Platform NUP Party have faced off in a debate to test their competence. The debate, which was based on parliamentary roles and national unity principles, will help the top leaders to front the best aspirant to face others from the NRM, FDC and independents in Kawempe North by-election slated for March 2025.
The debate kicked off at around midday and was graced by the top leadership of the National Unity Platform, including the party president, Robert Chagulanyi. The debate, which was based on parliamentary roles and National Unity Platform principles, will help the party top leaders to front the best aspirant to face off with the other aspirants from the NRM, FDC, DP and independents in Kawempe North by-election slated for March 2025. Most of the aspirants, when asked to explain the agenda, they focused on youth skilling, women empowerment, health, human rights, and job creation.
I will further my activities of fighting for justice and human rights. I will inspire the youth. I'm aware that the youth in Kawempe North constituency are the majority, but many of them are not only unemployed but unemployable.
Secondly, on our agenda is to demand for accountability from the military regime that has ruled our country for the last 40 years.
Another one is about depopulation. I've already introduced in Moses Boxi, Mundawa, President Chagulanyi Ondaba, Era Kolera Bantu Bange.
Some of the aspirants misfired when responding to questions when it came to general and parliamentary issues.
What is your understanding of appropriations?
That is a process where the MP looks at how the people of that area, how they can benefit from the government, from the services.
Your colleague said there are 4 functions: legislation, oversight, appropriation, and representation. What is appropriations?
What I can say, the role of an MP, Parliament, the role of an MP to pass laws that govern the country. MPs make laws that govern this country. Also to represent your people, the one who have voted for you. That is it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
By the end of the debate, Council Arias Nalkola and Magara Umar stood out as the most eloquent.
Speaker is the chairperson of the Parliamentary Commission. The Parliamentary Commission is the body which does the administrative role of Parliament.
The understanding of the role of an MP is already stipulated in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. An MP does oversight role. An MP does represent his constituents. An MP, any 3 roles of the Speaker of Parliament. Any 3 roles of the Speaker of Parliament. The 3 roles of the Speaker of Parliament: 1 is to oversee the House, because they are the ones who are the chairpersons of all the sessions or all the sittings of the House. 2, approvals of the national budget.
The best aspirant will be given the NUP flag on 18th of February to face off in campaigns with aspirants from other political parties. The winner will replace fallen legislator Muhammad Sejirinya, who died early January this year. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Now into the health sector, 14 suspected patients of the Ebola viral disease have been evacuated from Wakiso district. This has been revealed by Dr. Emmanuel Mukisa Mwonge, the Wakiso district health officer, during an exclusive interview with UBC TV. Let's hear more.
According to the Wakiso District Health Officer, Dr. Emmanuel Mukisa Mwonge, the 14 suspected cases have been transferred to Mulago National Referral Hospital for close monitoring.
Every case that we are evacuated, we take them to Mulago National Referral Center. Currently, Minister of Health has put in place, I should say, ambulance services under their command at Naguru Regional Referral Center. So once we get a case, we contact the ambulance command control center, and then we link up with them to come and evacuate these cases.
In a task force meeting held on Friday in Boloba, it was discovered that the evacuation system of the district is struggling to respond swiftly to alerts of suspected Ebola cases. In an attempt to address this concern, the district authorities have proposed to set up an isolation unit at Boloba Chitawuluzo, where a health center 3 is being constructed.
Because at times, as you are transporting one patient, then you are called to fall back in the field. That's why we came up with an idea that the districts begins operating an isolation center. And when we looked around, we identified this area. This is our land as a district, and we already constructing a health center 3 here. But already we have some basic structure which we have presented to Ministry of Health officials and WHO. They have come and inspected it. There are some works to be done here, ready to turn it into an isolation center.
Wakiso district has recorded so far 4 Ebola cases, which has resulted in the temporary closure of 2 health facilities. The district authorities are also struggling to contain Mpox, with 477 cases registered in the district. The Wakiso district health officer says containing this epidemic requires the community members observing preventing measures like washing hands.
Whereby that's why scientifically we encourage washing our hands with the soap and water. Because somebody who has the disease can easily spread it by touching different surfaces. So in our areas of operations, we're encouraging the public and even the schools to be very vigilant, to have hand washing facilities in place.
Diano Oloin Peters, UBC News in Wakiso.
Much there, Peters. Now, government is set to prioritize irrigation schemes throughout the country to boost production. This was disclosed by the State Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Fred Bwino Chakulaga, during his visit to Mubuku Irrigation Scheme in Kasese District.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, has taken a deliberate move to prioritize addressing impacts of climate change. Particularly, he has put irrigation among the 3 top priorities in the next budgeting cycle.
During his tour of Mubuku Irrigation Scheme, Minister Chakulaga noted that Mubuku Irrigation Scheme has helped farmers to produce variety of farm products which has increased their incomes.
The scheme has generally boosted production of various enterprises, but mainly concentrating on multiplication of seed.
However, Minister Chakulaga was dismayed to learn that some of the land belonging to the scheme has been forcefully grabbed by unscrupulous people.
Challenge is related to 1,010 hectares of land that were allocated to livestock units. It is supposed to be used by 13 groups, but we have found out that a handful of people, just 5 individuals, hijacked that huge chunk of land, and the general public is there as bystanders. They are just there, helpless.
The Deputy Resident Commissioner, Nakase District in charge of Busongora County, Zephanas Mubigwa, noted that there is need to streamline the management of Mubuku Irrigation Scheme so that the common person can also benefit.
We have to review the general management of the scheme so that we can allow the local people to utilize this land for production.
He revealed that land grabbing in Kasese district remains a big challenge which needs central government's intervention.
Get a plot here, I don't know, it's next to going to heaven. But going to heaven may be simple because I know once I die, I will automatically go to buy. Honorable Minister, we don't know whether this scheme belongs to government or belongs to people.
We have recommended to the minister that the government generally needs to do what? To handle this matter conclusively to the level that people can be able to access land and cultivate.
This one.
Now, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is set to revise conditions of implementing GROW as the Wealth Empowerment Program. While addressing the assessment gathering for the program beneficiaries in Greater Kampala, Wakiso and Entebbe, Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development Betty Amonge reiterated on the uncovered community, recommending incorporation of microfinances and cooperatives in the money acquisition cycle.
This integrated wealth empowerment program, GROW, has been assessed to incorporate other components like certifying produced products and training of women on business registration and bookkeeping.
Participating commercial banks have done tremendous work in disbursing the money and also ensuring that the conditions related to collateral is made flexible for many of these women to obtain the loan.
The demand for GROW is too high, more than the resources that we have. But I want to assure the women that as we move along, we will be able to support all the women of Uganda that have the requirements, especially if they are running a business.
Beneficiaries are urged not to focus on capital acquisition but also market location, local, regional and beyond. The ministry wants to revise conditions, especially collateral security.
Banks also need conditions that will allow them recover. Because for us as government, we have put all the risk to the bank. And we have told the banks it is up to you to lend and recover. So because we have not de-risked the bank and told the bank you must ensure you recover all this money, they are also ensuring that they put condition which allows them to recover the money.
Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is engaging commercial banks to include microfinance and cooperatives to give out money at the same interest rate of 10% in order to benefit more people.
Forthcoming disbursement, the major issue which we are now agreeing is that we need to bring on board some microfinance institutions and cooperatives, because there are women who want to borrow maybe smaller amounts, like 2 million, 3 million. There are also women who are in rural areas where banks are not, but this microfinance have offices in those areas. So we have now agreed to also target women in rural areas.
GROW is a women-oriented wealth empowerment program by the government of Uganda and was launched in August of 2024. So far, at least 2,000 women have accessed money through this program in 60 districts, and at least 50 billion shillings has been disbursed. Cayenne Faith, Regan Ahumuza for UBC.
And in one of our top stories, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has asked Judiciary to hear and determine cases in courts as they ensure that justice is dispensed promptly, fairly, and in a manner that meets public interests. He says this will support the overall economic development and social welfare of Ugandans. This was contained in his speech during the opening of the New Year Law delivered by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja. Let's hear more.
Let us rise up and receive the honor of the
Judiciary has opened the new law year at a function held at its headquarters in Kampala. In his speech delivered by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, President Yoweri Museveni asked the Judiciary to exercise its mandate in ways that promote social and economic development among the population and growing household income.
Some people have embraced PDM and have really made a lot of progress. Some have concentrated on growing cash crops such as coffee, tea, bananas, while others have concentrated on rearing livestock.
The president pointed out 5 goals to the judiciary, among them leadership that aims at working together, performance management, and addressing the growing land grabbing and evictions that have hindered development.
I urge your lordship to determine land matters judiciously and ensure that the locus in quo is visited. You are the experts of the law, so I want you to help the wananchi in coming up with very comprehensive guidelines on land evictions. I still receive complaints and witnesses incidents where evictions are not handled well, and these unjust evictions will frustrate the different initiatives we have put in place to alleviate poverty, like the parish development model.
President Museveni implored the judiciary to hear and determine cases to ensure that justice is dispensed promptly, fairly, and in a manner that reflects the larger public interest.
The Bible says in the second Samarians 3, 1 and 0, everyone, if anyone will not work, neither shall he eat. Why do you at times protect thieves who are anti-development? Why do you make it so easy for the thieves, murderers, land grabbers, rapists to be released on bail?
The president also pointed out the need to address corruption, especially among public officers who misuse government funds, growing indiscipline and impugning the public service, among others.
Ugandans and foreign investors alike have continuously reported significant challenges when navigating the court system, including allegations of corruption, delays in case processing due to case backlogs, a complex land tenure regime, and a lack of transparency in the legal proceedings, and concerns that often make it difficult to enforce contracts and solve commercial disputes effectively.
On his part, Chief Justice Alfonso Winyidolo highlighted some of the achievements and what they intended to do in the new year law.
We already established more courts and we are looking for funds and more manpower to operationalize more courts across the country. Judicature, in bracket, electronic filing service and virtual proceedings, close bracket, rules 2024. The Rules Committee considered and passed the Judicature, electronic filing service and virtual proceedings rules 2024, which are pending gazetting. These rules will enhance the use of ICT innovations within the judiciary and will therefore enhance case management and performance of judicial officers. We have operationalized various judiciary committees, a whole range, 10 of them: Planning, Development and Finance Committee, Case Management Committee, Law Reform Committee, Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee, Performance Management and Awards Committee, Disciplinary Committee, Information Committee, Communications Technology and Documentation Committee, Integrity Committee, Human Capital Development, Gender and Equity Mainstreaming Committee, and Audit Committee. Benchmarking visits by sister judiciaries. The Ugandan judiciary has grown. We've really improved in many areas. We are now a destination point for other jurisdictions. Kenya, Malawi, Zambia, and others. Others are still planning to come. Coming to know, how have you done it? How have you been able to do this? Now, our key priorities for the year 2025: recruitment of more judicial officers, enhancing case management and backlog reduction.
Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs Norbert Mao expressed the need to embrace alternative dispute resolution mechanism to help reduce on-case backlog and congestion in prison.
About land, whether it is about civil liberties, the disagreements are among the citizens of Uganda. But most of the time, we talk as if the judiciary is part of the conflicts. So the ADR policy will support the initiative you, my Lord, the Chief Justice, and the judiciary are already doing. For instance, plea bargaining. The judiciary, our chief guest, has found a way to say, look, instead of going to jail for 5 years, you can actually get 2. Instead of going to jail for 2 years, you may be asked to do community service.
The head of the bar, represented by his deputy Jackson Kafuzi, was concerned about the misconduct of some of the members of the bar, especially in attacking judicial officers.
I wish to note, with deep concern, a deterioration in the collegiality between members of the bar and respect for the bench. We have instances where members of the bar openly attack judicial officers. I appeal to all members of the bar to exercise a level of professionalism amongst themselves and when dealing with the bench.
The function was attended by different dignitaries from the justice law and sector and retired judicial officers. I'm Ivan Juko and Deborah Namamondi for UBC.
And that was the opening of the New Year Law 2025. And at 35 minutes past 8 o'clock, we're going to take a short break and return with more news. Stay with us.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using MoMo.
Abantu bebuloba mwena olwako olwaleero tuli wamwe wano ku St. Paul Kindergarten nga tukuze kukola ki tuze kuwa muzadde waffe eyawangudde school fees za mwaka mulamba. Kyeyakoze jogajoga yasasuza school fees we n'akozesa school pay bw'atyo n'awangula.
Nasooka kwogera amannya ga mwana mulala nende okuwulira ng'asiriikiridde nenooza twakinzizeemu si kituufu ne mugamba nyinawo abaana babiri kyava mbuza omulala yaani ne mubuulira amannya ge n'aŋŋamba oyo oli muwanguzi waffe ne MTN MoMo wawangudde school fees gwe muwanguzi wa wiiki eno.
Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor. Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
The Uganda Human Rights Commission, UHRC, established under Article 51 of Uganda's Constitution, protects and promotes human rights through receiving, investigating and holding tribunals to award damages for human rights violations, conducting research, civic education, monitoring detention centers, government compliance with treaty obligations, and presents an annual human rights report to Parliament. As part of its advocacy strategy, the UHRC last year commemorated the International Human Rights Day on 10th December under the theme, Reducing Inequalities in the Enforcement of Environmental Rights and Mitigating the Impact of Environmental Degradation in Uganda. Activities included a press conference led by Chairperson Honorable Mariam Wagadia, TV and radio talk shows, a newspaper supplement. The main event was a high-level public dialogue at Golf Course Hotel with the third Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honourable Rukia Isanga Nakadama, as a chief guest. Key stakeholders in attendance included the EU Deputy Ambassador to Uganda, the UN Women Country Representative, the Japanese Ambassador to Uganda, representatives of heads of government ministries, departments and agencies. The dialogue focused on advocating for environmental rights. It was supported by various partners.
Welcome back from that short break, and in our next segment, as we start off with the judiciary, drama ensued at the opening of the Judiciary New Law Year 2025 when the president of Uganda Law Society, Isaac Semakade, confronted Chief Justice Alfonso Wayne Dolo as he delivered his speech. Semakade demanded to know the reason why he had not been included on the list of speakers at the function.
Among the guests that were invited at the opening of the Judicial New Law Year was the President of Uganda Law Society, Isaac Semakade. Although it has always been the norm for the Uganda Law Society President to speak at such a function, this time round, he was denied the opportunity. This rubbed Mr. Semakade the wrong way, and he had to confront the Chief Justice while he was giving his speech, demanding to know why he had been denied the opportunity to speak.
President of Uganda Law Society, in his typical way, is invading my space and saying he is embarrassed. He has not been asked to come and speak. I'm not in charge of protocol, so I don't have an answer for you.
In his speech, Chief Justice Dolo expressed his disappointment over the unethical behavior of some members of the bar who are intent at tarnishing the image of the judiciary.
The leadership of a law society is the one taking the lead to drag judicial officers into the mud. Is the one, just because a decision has been made which you're not happy with, and then when a decision is made which you think favors you, you're all over the place thinking the decision was made for you.
Chief Justice Dolo had no kind words for the President of Uganda Law Society, Isaac Semakade, asking him to apologize to the judiciary before he can be allowed to speak at any judicial function in future.
Isaac Semakade came here protesting that he has not been called to speak. I have two things to say. You can't come to somebody's home and say you must speak. I thought this is common knowledge. I mean, you don't have to. If you're an adult, you know somebody invites you. If he wants you to speak, he will tell you speak. You can't say you must speak. Issue your executive orders. You don't need to come here to issue them. Two, I think only a fool, and I really mean it, somebody insults you, degrades you, dehumanizes you, and then he comes to your compound and say, it is business as usual. It is not. But you can make it business as usual. I've spoken about this. So I am the one who said the President of Uganda Law Society, called Isaac Semakade, will not speak in the judiciary function. Nobody else. Until you make amends.
As a result, Mr. Semakade and his entire team stormed out of the function, vowing never to apologize to the judiciary.
The judiciary cannot insulate itself from the realities of the country. The courts exist not to be praised, but to serve. The Ugandan people have been aggrieved by inefficiencies, corruption, and selective justice for far too long, and they are justified in their anger. Their voices, whether harsh, unfiltered, or piercing, are a necessary check on judicial power. They are not an attack on the institution. This is feedback from the taxpayer that must be welcomed without any misgivings. The bar does not exist to soothe the judiciary. And these sensitivities, or the sensitivities of its judges, not offer applause. It exists to hold it accountable and to defend the courts and the judges from executive overreach, interference by special interests, and other threats to judicial independence.
Amwaiva Njuko and Viola Nansubuga for UBC.
And in the appointment of the judicial officers, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in exercising of his powers under Article 142(1) and 2 of the Constitution, appointed Justice Dr. Flavian Nzeija as incoming Deputy Chief Justice, 1 Justice of the Supreme Court and 8 Justices of the Court of Appeal, and 21 acting judges of Court of Appeal on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission. The Chief Justice, Alphonse Dolo, commended President Museveni for the appointment, saying it will enhance the operations of the judiciary as they strive to reduce case backlog. Dolo said the appointment of the Deputy Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeija, has come at a time when the current sitting Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera awaits retirement from office in April this year, when he will clock retirement age. Justice Richard Butera, who has served the judiciary for 40 years, was appointed in this position in 2020, a position he has held for 6 years. Others appointed are Justice Muzammil Mutangula Kibedi, who was appointed Justice of the Supreme Court. According to the later, 8 justices were appointed in Court of Appeal, 21 acting judges in High Court, and Justice Bukirwa Farida Shamilau has been appointed and reappointed as Judge of the High Court. The appointed judiciary officers are now awaiting vetting by Parliament, and the details will come in our 10 p.m. bulletin. Now, a Fuso vehicle registration number UBN 990D and several rudimentary tools that were being used in illegal sand mining have been impounded and others destroyed at the shores of Lake Victoria in Nabunganyi, Busana, Kayunga district. During the operation, 1 illegal sand miner was arrested while others fled into the waters after seeing the enforcement team.
The Environmental Protection Force under NEMA, together with other sister agencies, have carried out a major operation to round up illegal sand miners in Kayunga and Buikwe districts. The operations were conducted in Nabunganyi, Busana, Kayunga district at the shores of River Nile, an illegal site operated by area residents. The other sites were in Chituntu village, Dunji parish in Buikwe district, operated by an unidentified Ugandan investor, and one in Nachiole village, still in Dunji parish in Buikwe district. The sites in question have no approval with NEMA but have been carrying out sand mining illegally using rudimentary tools like boats, spades, and locally assembled dredgers. At Nabunganyi, Kayunga district, a Fuso registration number UBN 990D that was found loading sand and other rudimentary sand mining tools were impounded.
Bandi badde batusomesa oluvanyuma n'okutukwata naye kati bazze buzi kutukwata tetumanyi kati bwe tugenda kukikola
naye singa bwe batusomesako ku ekintu kino nti obumenyi obw'amateeka buli mu kusima mu kyanga singa eziraida wano naakola ki n'asima mu kyanga ife ni wano wene wetuli wetutola school fees asomesa abaana.
The boats that were being used to carry sand from the waters to the shores were also destroyed. One person was arrested during the operation while others swam into the water and fled off. The truck was taken to Busana police station awaiting investigation. The enforcement team during the operation engaged with area residents and warned them against the consequences of their illegal actions.
Tubakubiriza abassebo ne banyabo tufeeyo ku butonde bwaffe ngabe Busana feffe nyina abalina okukola ki obulabirira. Gavumenti egenda kuva eri ejje ekole ki ebalwanirire abalina okwefaako.
In Chitonto village, Donji Parish, Wikwe district, was an illegal sand mining site operated by an unidentified Ugandan national. At one side of the site were rudimentary tools that had been used in sand mining, while on the adjacent site was a degraded portion of the swamp by rice growers. At Nachiole village, still in the Wikwe district, was an assembled sand dredging system and 2 excavators said to be managed by one unidentified individual of Nigerian descent.
Kwa waliwo n'abadredger lwala abadde bakajja basifutinga okuva wano aba Nigeria najja ne mbawooninga naye olw'okuba ndowooza bajjira ku bantu ate abalala abaamuno ng'abalina amataka along the lake shores kati bwe bajja babaguzanga wano we bati bo ne balowooza nti babaguzizza wa ekintu ekisinga obone nti byonna nagali amazzi gabanannyini ttaka kitali kituufu.
The site was abandoned by the illegal sand miners who seemed to have been tipped off by an identified area leader. The operation to encounter illegal sand mining will continue across the country, guided by the National Environment Act 2019. Susan Naung and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC TV.
Lillian! Lily flower!
Osmosis.
The cedar bus of beauty, the power bank of my heart, the sugar of my milk tea.
I'm glad you're here. Today buy for us some chicken.
No problem. You can eat whatever you want. I had already ordered. How much?
122.
122? Now, what if I take this one and this one? And can I also borrow this one? How much now?
When your money is not enough, don't hassle. We're sorting it with MTN MoMo. Use the MoMo app or dial *165 *5# to add call with MoMo Advance and pay.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Welcome back from that short break as we delve into the world of business. Telecommunication giant MTN Uganda has continued to prove that it's the leader in Uganda, not only in the telecom service provision, but also under the corporate social responsibility initiatives. Let's hear more from John Barnes Center.
Since its arrival in Uganda, telecom giant MTN has ensured Ugandans get satisfying service delivery. From basics like a steady and affordable connectivity, the company has grown and now, through its MTN MoMo platform, is paying annual school fees for lucky winners.
Today we are in Kawempe at Midland High School to hand over to one of the lucky customers that paid school fees using MoMo, and MoMo has gone ahead to bless them with a full year's school fees. This promo is running, it's active to all mobile money customers who pay their school fees using their MTN SIM cards. We call upon all parents who haven't used this to acquire an MTN SIM card, get a school code from the school. Every student has a unique code, and use that to pay for your child's school fees. times are hard. This is an opportunity that I wouldn't want any parent to miss. There is getting fees, but we are talking about fees for a whole year, which is a very huge opportunity.
One of the first stops for MTN MoMo was at Midland High School, where it's joy unconfined for Samuel Shema and his family, who are beneficiaries of a full year school fees payment.
I did pay for my young brother called Shema Samuel. He's at Midland High School, Kawempe. And today we are the winners.
I'm in Form 3 at Midland High School, Kawempe. I'm very excited today as a lucky winner because it's not easy nowadays. But I've received the school fees for a full year. That's not easy at all. I thank Momo. First of all, I thank Momo. And another thing, I thank my sister. If she didn't use Momo Pay, I wouldn't have been here. So I'm very happy. I'm excited. I'm fully happy.
The other recipients were Pistol Pista Nantongo of Nkowe High School and Chitante Hill School student Nume Emmanuel Santos. This MTN MoMo initiative is to spread across the country and targets 25 recipients as it targets making education more accessible and affordable.
And in sports, Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, has beaten Northern Ireland 51-32 in a friendly match at the Redbridge Sport and Leisure Centre in Ilford, UK. Let's see more in this report.
The She Cranes has recovered from Wednesday's 41-39 friendly game loss to a combined gender team with an emphatic 51-32 victory over Northern Ireland. The game was played at the Redbridge Sports and Leisure Centre in Ilford, England. The technical team chose Irene Yaru, Rachel Nanyonga, Hindu Namutebi, Nasimo Mutesi, Margaret Bagala, Sandra Nambirige, and Gloria Aya as the starters. Later, all others including Mary Nuba, Privas Kanyeng, Penelope Amia, Hanisha Mohammed, and Christine Namulumba got a chance to play, meaning that only the injured Joan Rekoboth sat out. In this friendly of 5 quarters, Uganda trailed 8-6 at the end of the first quarter, but returned strong to lead 16-14 after 2 stanzas and was 29-22 up after 3 quarters. The fourth ended with advantage Uganda 39-26, and there was no turning back with a commanding 51-32 score, sealing a comfortable win.
I think we have been building. We haven't had the best start last week. I think this week, we have continued to improve, and every training match, and I think it's been very great for us to see what we can take on to the weekend. And I think, we continue to build every game, and it's not looking all pretty, but we hope on Saturday we'll have a better game.
Uganda is preparing for a return to the Vitality Netball Nations Cup, in which England is the opponent this Saturday at the Copper Box Arena in London. The team has so far lost both of its games to South Africa and Malawi, and according to team officials, the earlier several issues are solved, the better for this team, which is a national treasure.
When we come here, it is as if we have never played a game because we don't have the facilities where to do the training and make the girls professionals. But these developed countries, you can see in every area, in every, in every place, at least there's a sports facility for people to play. And it is free. In Uganda, we struggle. We struggle for these facilities. And that is why you can see the performance cannot improve at the pace we want because we don't have the facilities. I urge the government that at least there should be a facility in every region so that we improve the standard of our sports. And at the same time, I would like to thank people like Hams Chugundo who have actually made it but we need many more rich people to come and invest in sports.
In the other game on Saturday, to complete the Vitality Netball Nations Cup round robin, Malawi faces South Africa. On the final day on Sunday, the top-placed team will face the second in the gold medal match, while third and fourth battle for bronze.
Well, once again, thank you so much for sticking it with us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and right now, as the national broadcasters, we would love to enlighten you about the voters' registration updates. And in studios, that is the auditorium section there, we want to join Michael Jordan Lukoma over there. We want to join him at the auditorium to engage with the Electoral Commission spokesperson. Michael Jordan, welcome.
Mpango, Mrs. Thank you so much for the news and giving us room to have this discussion as we prepare for the 2026. The mood has begun, and it has been, of course, it begins with voter registration updates and all that. So the Electoral Commission is already one of those busy entities in the country. That's what we are going to discuss. My guest is already here. Thank you so much, Patricia. We can now give you leave and we talk to the electorate in Uganda. Yes, a very good evening to you once again. Like she introduced, my name is Michael Jordan Lukoma, and we are coming to you live this evening in our one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukoma. This evening, we are going to talk to the Electoral Commission of Uganda. Every 5 years, we go to the polls as a country to have an election of our leaders at different levels, starting with the presidential and parliamentary. Then we go to the elections of LC5, the district councillors and the councils, municipalities, to the ground, to the grassroots. And 2026 is one of those years where we shall have the interval. So 2026, we shall have general elections. And because elections are a process with different stages that lead to the other up to the end, the situation has begun, and it began with the voter register update, which began on the, it began and it's still ongoing. The official here will tell us. So we're going to discuss that, what it entails, what you need to know as a voter, and what your role is, the value of this register to you. And because I covered an election somewhere and people were complaining, my name is missing, my name is missing. And they were telling them, you did not come to verify your presence in the register and things like that. So my guest is Mr. Musinguzi Tolbert. He's the Regional Elections Officer, Kampala, and is going to be giving us a wide range of information to do with the exercise and how far they have gone, when they are ending. Remember, there is a hot by-election around the corner. That is in Kawempe North, where we have to replace the late Mohammed Segirinya, who was the MP for that area, and the processes are also on. All that in this discussion. Sir, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you very much,
yes,
Jordan, for hosting us this evening.
You're most welcome.
Good evening, all viewers of
okay.
UBC.
I have a number of things for you to explain, and I'll go straight to what we want you to tell the public.
Yes.
You are conducting an update of the National Voters Register.
Sure.
What is the value of that and the purpose of updating the register? And is it a fresh registration of all eligible voters or something different to that? Let's start from there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jordan. What we are doing now,
yes,
is an update of the National Voters Register. We are having all those who have Ugandan citizens who have attained the age of 18 and have never voted to be on our register.
Okay.
We are also having all those Ugandans who would wish to transfer their voter locations from where they were voting to where they want to vote from now, transferring of voters. We are also updating details of all learners. Learners, we are talking of students who are registered in school, had not yet attained the age of 18. NIRA was registering. As you know, Jordan and all our viewers, NIRA is the institution mandated to register
Ugandans for purposes of confirmation of citizenship.
Yes.
And issuing national IDs. Not until then that you become a Ugandan citizen and again get to the register. Okay. Now, the registered learners at school who were 16 years, 15 years, 17 years. Now, those learners have since attained the age of 18.